Welcome back to Bible Bears, guys. I am Ryder Cullison. So I, just like everybody else, is talking about Cuties, the Netflix movie that is set to premiere on September 9th, I believe it is. Now everybody is absolutely losing their mind over this movie. If you haven't heard about it, it is about an 11-year-old, I don't know how to pronounce it, Senegalese girl. She's part of a strict Muslim family. She's living in Paris, and she becomes attracted to her kind of free-spirited neighbor who is part of a dance clique called Cuties. Sounds pretty innocent enough, except when the marketing came out for the film. Netflix put up this poster, which I'll show here, of the girls, and some of them are in sexually provocative positions. Okay, now mind you, these girls are supposed to be 11. The girl who plays the main character is actually 14. Like, that really makes a difference. But in the movie, they're all 11. They're all kind of in these sexually provocative positions, and Netflix has been accused of, over-sexualizing these children. I don't think the word exploiting has come up, but everybody, as I said, is just losing their minds about this. Now, to be fair to the movie's director, this was not her intended purpose of the film, and other people have recognized that the marketing for the film has been overdone, and Netflix has come out and apologized for the poster and basically the overall way that they've marketed the movie. Now, as I mentioned, the director did not make this movie to over-sexualize 11-year-old girls. This is what she said. Today, the sexier and the more objectified a woman is, the more value she has in the eyes of social media. When you're 11, you don't really understand all these mechanisms, but you tend to mimic others to get a similar result. It is urgent that we talk about this and have a debate about this. So really, this kind of coming-of-age story that she has created, which won an award at Sundance, the intended purpose of this film is to say, hey, look, a lot of these younger girls, they're viewing older girls on social media, in videos, what have you, and they're mimicking their behavior. I don't know if you heard about, I really don't even want to discuss it, but the song WAP, made by Cardi B and someone else. If you haven't heard about it, go look it up. If you're, you know what, just leave it. Just forget about it altogether. It's a totally inappropriate song, but the point is, young children look up to those people, see them as role models, find value in over-sexualizing themselves, and the director saying, we need to have a conversation about this. Okay, I get it. I'm with her on that. My confusion is Netflix kind of missed the point in all of that, and then put up this poster where these girls are like twerking and so on. And my question is, and leave it in the comments below, is this yet kind of another cultural shift? I mean, do you remember, well, most of you don't remember, and really I don't remember it either, but I've heard about it. When Elvis appeared on TV, performed on TV, they had to show him from the waist up. Why? Because the way he moved and the way he shook his hips was too provocative for TV. I mean, he's fully dressed. Suit, pants, shoes, but it was too stimulating, so they couldn't show it. And now, today, we've got people like Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga and whomever barely dressed at some of these award shows and performing in very over-sexualized ways. So in other words, what was once way vanilla back then was too sexy, and now what Elvis was back then would be nothing compared to today. Think about video games. For you video game fans out there, do you remember how absolutely crazy people went when Mortal Kombat came out? because you were punching somebody and some blood was coming out and people said, oh my gosh, this is the most indecent thing we ever saw. Our kids are going to be fighting in the street, throwing harpoons into one another, freezing them, punching them between the legs. None of that happened. But my point is, that game is rated G compared to the Mortal Kombat game today. How do I know this? Because I'm a bad father and my son's got the game and I've seen it. I've played it. It's horrible. I mean, some of the moves, it's close up, you see bones breaking, guys are twirling guns, shooting people through the eyes, people are getting set on fire. But it's also kind of, and I'm not trying to, you know what, I am trying to rationalize this. It is make-believe. My son has absolutely no intention of picking up a boulder and throwing it at somebody or teleporting behind them and shooting them in the butt with a shotgun or anything like that. But you can see how things move, and where once something was absolutely controversial, today it's okay. Now my concern is, even though people are losing their minds over Cuties right now, how far away are we from this being acceptable? Clearly, Netflix had an agenda when they put these girls in these kind of over-sexualized poses on their poster. What type of viewer were they trying to attract? Were they trying to sell sex here? If you watch one of my previous videos with this QAnon conspiracy and this whole idea that there's this satanic ring of evil democratic pedophiles and that they might be cannibals, how far away are we from suggesting that this type of thing, over-sexualizing of children, is okay? I mean, we in America are a little bit more sensible about this than other countries. Iraq, for example, 5% of women, or I should say girls girls are married before they turn 15. 5%, and a lot of people over there want that age lowered. There are some instances where girls as young as 13 are being married. Obviously that's way too young. Here that's called pedophilia. How far away are we from accepting that into our culture? And what I'm speaking of specifically is pedophilia. This happened centuries ago. We knew it. People take young brides. It still happens in the Middle East. At what point do people say here, oh, you know what? It's okay. You're just being intolerant. You Christians are just being bigoted. And it's not just the Christians, obviously, who oppose this, but the Christians inevitably are the last stand, right? The ones who are seen the most intolerant and the most bigoted. Look, there's people in the world who are marrying their brothers and sisters. And that's accepted in some cultures. Hopefully that'll never be accepted here, but someone needs to take a stand right now and say it's wrong, and it's not only going to be wrong today, it's going to be wrong for the same reasons 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. However, people felt the same way about people of LGBT, and now it's okay. So will there be a shift in 10, 15 years where, hey, this type of thing is okay? We've already got sites saying adultery is okay, life's short, go have an affair. We keep moving, we keep erasing the line in the sand and shifting over. So, am I absolutely crazy here? You saw the outrage, people are upset, and I'm happy people are upset. But has the line been nudged over a little bit? And then we lose our minds over this, and now someone's going to slip in a little bit something, and we're going to go, okay, that's okay though. And the line will be moved. And then we'll get angry about something, and so someone, knowing that we're going to get really angry about it, will say, well, what about this? What about this concession? And the line will get moved a little bit again. Guys, if I'm way off base, look, I understand you're upset about the movie. We all kind of agree on the marketing, but am I off base that the line is being moved and that you can see in maybe not 5 years, but 10, 15 years, that this type of culture, this type of pop culture, this over-sexualization of children will become more mainstream? Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think I'm totally wrong, tell me. If you think I'm on the right track, tell me. Okay? Listen, this is not part of God's plan, obviously. We don't want to take advantage of young children. We already know all the reasons why this is wrong. We don't need to have to remind ourselves of this. Okay? There's no need for that. Read the Bible. Remember all the reasons why this is wrong. Enough said. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Let's get the word out about this. I appreciate you tuning in. As always, I love you. Have a blessed week.